Hello, Chris Holly for ADE 605, talking about the adult female educator paper that we just completed. I chose Alice Freeman Palmer as the educator to write about. I chose her because she was significant, and yet it was somebody that I never even heard of until I started doing this research paper. Her time period was 1881, where she was the youngest president at Wellesley College at the age of 26. But we'll start with her childhood. She was brilliant and taught herself how to read at the age of 3, but was still faced with many challenges that time period unfortunately offered to many people. She watched her family struggle with financial hardships. She watched her family struggle with illness. She took care of her sister up until the day that she died. And she saw this, and she wanted to empower herself through education and also empower other females to be able to take care of themselves, to not be dependent on other people, and to really have the same opportunities that men had. That time period, women were not even enrolling in college, or they were just enrolling in college. A few years earlier than her time. She went to the University of Michigan, went on to become a principal at a high school. She did that so that she could stay close to her family that she was taking care of. And then she became the president of Wellesley that we talked about. And she became the first dean of women at the University of Chicago. And she became the president and one of the co-founders of what became the American Association of University Women, which still exists today, 120 something years later. Uh, Her story is significant because all through her life she was a trailblazer. She was one of the youngest, one of the first, one of the co-founding, one of one of the trailblazing everywhere she went. She became popular through lectures and writing articles, even after she had left the field. So she contributed through her entire life, through her work. She married a professor at Harvard, um, which was also difficult for her to decide whether she wanted to keep her job as president of Wellesley or be married. She couldn't do both. One because of distance, and two because of the they couldn't have both of them working at that time period because of attending to other responsibilities. But like I said, she chose the married route, but then continued to give to the field of education, which could could be seen through the span of decades and decades. So I liked this project because I really dug into the history. Like I said, I could probably go on for another 10-15 minutes of the contributions that she gave to the field. Um, but I'll just say that I enjoyed the history of it. Um, and like I said, I'd never even heard of her. I tried finding a book on her, and I did find a book on her actually, and there was only like 10 of these in the entire state. I found one in a bookstore that some guy runs out of his garage about an hour from my house, and this book was, you probably can't see it, maybe you can, was a gift from a teacher to a student in 1915. So I truly did enjoy the history of this assignment. And I must say a little bit, disappointed or sad in the fact that I had to search high and low to find more information on her. And when I found information on her, I couldn't believe how much she contributed to the field. I feel like this is somebody that should be more popular. We are probably all guilty of of writing the history that we want, and leaving out certain populations and genders, and we've learned about that through this program. But I truly realized it during this paper. But I look forward to seeing what everybody has to say, and have a good night. Thanks.